It's time for the BSing with the Guys live podcast.
Welcome to the BSing with the Guys live show. Now, if you are catching us after the fact, stay with us because in this stream, we're going to get into some shit. A little bit of the Ilhan Omar squirting incident, and I'm not talking about on her OnlyFans page, but we're going to talk about why some people believe it may have been staged. We're going to get into a little bit about the lies surrounding ICE and the quote-unquote innocent people that they're supposedly deporting. A new video that has emerged showing Alex Pretti in a not-so-flattering light. We also got some 2020 election fraud investigations going on, and we ask a very important question. Is Candace Owens retarded? All of that and more. Let's get into it. Now, Brad.
Yo.
Ilhan Omar, what was your first reaction when you seen a little skeet going her way? Did you think somebody was attacking this lady?
No, not at all. I'm really wondering now that if it is staged, just to create some discord. I don't know, man. I just, yeah, the more I look at it, I don't trust anything that side does anyway. So anything for the attention, you know.
Well, let's pull up a video that this is what the critics are saying of why it's proof. So let me pull that up, share it with everyone here.
Let's do it.
Get into there. Bam. All right, let's get into this here. Now, what they're saying is that she glances at the guy almost as to give him a sign right before he got up. Now she looks there. She looks basically right at him and gives that head nod right there.
Or face impeachment.
Now, does that mean anything? I mean, she kind of did it before him too. You know, I don't know if that's just her natural kind of progression as she's speaking, but you can see she does it there. And then she does it right at him. And then he jumps up immediately.
Yeah.
Strange, or is that overthinking it?
I don't know, man. I think she's twitching her head to keep her little top piece on. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, it doesn't. I mean, does it sell at all? Like as far as the idea that that it may be staged just by that video. You know, I mean,
I don't know if that video does it, but
because that's what people were going by, and I'm thinking maybe they're reaching a little bit with that one.
Yeah.
With because of the whole head nod thing. I mean, of course, it looks like she looks directly at the guy.
It does.
Does that mean it was 100% staged? I don't know. Now, she's, had reason, I guess, is what some people were saying as far as motivation to do this. They just, I guess, kind of the fraud and everything that's going on over there.
Yeah.
That it could be just trying to deflect a little bit of some bullshit from her. I mean, this was less than 24 hours. The basically the fundraising all fake victimhood. They're saying she was texting donors for security money, blaming Trump and ICE, scamming her base while distracting from her shady $30 to $50 million net worth and Minnesota's massive tax fraud scandal. So is she playing this little victim card that, like I said, to just kind of get the cameras off of her, so to say, when it comes to the fraud is what people were getting at. Because there was nothing in this syringe. It was, from what they're saying, it was apple cider vinegar or some shit. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's what I
yeah. So I don't know. The whole thing seems weird. And another thing, and then look, I'm not saying for anybody watching, what's up, Matt? Anybody watching, not saying that it was staged. I'm just giving the critics' point of view from it and why people were saying that. So before people start freaking out in the chats, thinking that that's what we're saying, just talking about it, the way that she ran at the guy as soon as he squirted it, some people were saying that that's not a natural reaction when you think somebody just squirted some sort of God knows what on you.
Whatever. Acid
right.
Or whatever it could have been.
And you don't know if that was all he was going to do. You supposedly just see some guy get up out of his seat, squirt some liquid on you, and your thought is to run towards this person. There's no telling what else he had on his mind, if he had a weapon or whatever. So now Granted, maybe she's about that life. Maybe that was her reaction. Like, somebody did something to her and she pounced, and was about to go do something back. I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, because just by going by what some of the people are saying with the whole head nod thing, I mean, if that's what you're going with to say that she was staging this, I think we needed something a little better. But to their point, I mean, they do have a lot of shit going on in and around her area that she would probably like to kind of deflect from if she could.
And what's going on with her winery? I've heard that as a theory of why she would have staged it too.
Yeah, they had I saw a little bit of a headline about that, but I didn't really dig into it. But what
I got one here, and it says that her winery suspiciously surged in value from practically $0 to $5 million in a year, despite no physical winery, phone line, social media, barely functioning website, and no wine.
So what are they saying? Like that was just another some way to funnel money?
Yeah, I guess they're calling it fraud, and basically that's why she didn't want to prosecute. I guess fraud happening, and
right,
why she would have staged this to get the attention off herself. Like I said, I don't know.
Well, I know they were. And I say they.
Hyperion, if that's, I don't know how to say your name, but I'm not stating it as a fact. I'm saying this is the theories that people are coming up with, buddy.
Well, yeah, I thought you clearly said that when you asked me about the winery, and I said, I don't know. And you said, well, all I'm seeing is what people, someone is saying. So, yeah, I don't understand where the word facts came in. But anyway, I know, she was starting to get looked at for this explosion of wealth that she's accumulated. And, when she came here as a refugee with basically nothing, now suddenly her family's worth up to, somewhere between $30 and $40 million. Her husband's venture firm jumps from basically $0 to $25 million in 1 year. So that people are like, where did the money come from? Is this a legit business miracle or something fishier?
Right.
Is what's being said. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's no different than any of the rest of the fraud going on with these damn politicians. But maybe it was just some nut decided I'm going to go try to get a point across by causing a scene. So I decided to put apple cider vinegar in a syringe and shoot it at her. I don't know. None of it makes any fucking sense at all.
None of it.
But but like I said, it I'm not going to sit here and 100% commit to it was staged, but I wouldn't doubt anything when it comes to these politics playing these games, and it's like, I saw it in the chats, matter of fact, as far as Trump supposedly staging this assassination attempt. They jumped all over that, but they don't even want to talk about this one. Like if it's even a possibility, you're crazy for even thinking that, is how the left approaches it because it's their guy, so to say. And I mean, it's crazy how that goes, but it's never ending with these politics. If you voted for that side, they can do no wrong. And it's like to believe both sides aren't, dumb enough or able to pull off shit like this just to divert attention away from things, you're out of your mind. I think it happens all the fucking time,
I think so too.
I mean, we talk about it a lot, just false flags and just, creating chaos to avoid people detecting what you're really doing. I mean, they do it all the time in politics.
Absolutely. You see it. I mean, there's been many cases of it, somebody mentioned Jesse Smollett, which I don't know if that was a distraction. I feel like he just wanted some attention, but
he can't get enough attention. That guy, that was such a fucking joke to begin with. And there was no other reason for him to do that besides the fact that he just wanted to be a part of this major movement that Trump voters were the most dangerous people in the country, and white supremacy is the most, the biggest threat to this nation. All that bullshit they were running with for a while. And Jesse Smollett, he's an actor, loves the attention, craves it. So therefore, how can I get it? So he thought up this fucking plan that he thought was going to work out. And he still, to this day, it goes with that fucking story.
Really?
I don't think there's a person on the left or right that believes that shit.
No.
No.
I haven't met anybody. Even the people on the left were laughing at him after a while. Like, okay, dude, this is, it's a little far fetched now, especially when you got people coming out, proving, saying, yeah, he paid me to do that. Here's the fucking check, It's like, so anyway,
yeah, I didn't realize he was still running with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he is. I mean, he doesn't talk about it much, but he's never once apologized for lying. He's still to this day, like, yeah, like if you interview him now, he will say that really happened to him. I mean, it's like, it's, just give it up, buddy. It's okay. Move on.
I guess when you lie, you stick with it, bro.
I guess you got to. Yeah. I mean, he could be a politician.
Might as well. What up, Matt?
Matt's all up in the chat there.
Oh yeah, Matt's on it.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, not 100% committed to Omar faking that little syringe thing. Like, although, would you put it past any of them? I guess is how we'll leave that. But what I did want to that Alex Pretti, the one that recently shot by ICE, of course, painted by the left as just peaceful guy out there minding his business, basically.
Saving lives, yeah.
Just doing nothing that would ever have anybody think anything ill of him. And then the video drops today, shows him in a little different light. Now we're gonna go. I want to.
He was a little aggravated, huh?
Right, and I want to start by saying, look, this doesn't mean that he deserved what he got, but what it does is just show the people on the left that are, like I said, trying to paint this guy as just some peaceful guy out there walking down the street trying to go get some Starbucks, and then ICE decided, you know what, we're gonna take his life.
F him. Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so let's pull up the video and watch our buddy here. Yeah. Let's see. Now, like I said, it doesn't not justifying what happened to him, but we're just going to show a little different side of him to see if maybe, he went out there looking to start confrontations and he got exactly what he was asking for.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree.
All right, now I'm going to stop it there because YouTube's funny with this shit, and if any type of violence like that, they'll want to demonetize us or whatever. But reportedly him, looks like him. If it is, I haven't seen anybody dispute it. Just looking up the details today, it seems to be him out there. Now, it was 11 days before. So, I know you don't hold something like that against somebody 11 days later. But now, and look, just to get into the chats, he's saying AI generated. I did check into that. I ran it through, and AI was claiming it wasn't. So I do want to be clear that if it is, then so be it. But it's a long-ass video for AI. If you've ever seen those AI videos, most people aren't generating fucking minutes long. Not saying it can't be done before people get into chats with that. But most of them, it's just a quick little video just to kind of fool everybody. Looked pretty legit to me. I'm not, even if it wasn't him, it looked like a legit video.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that was just something that, was going around. And it was kind of being, presented in the light of showing that not everybody that... kind of like the Renee Good lady. Well, you listen to the left, she was just trying to drop off her kids or whatever. She was just dropped off her kids at school, and then she was just going on about her business, and then they shot her in the face. And that was nowhere near the truth. And that was kind of how they were trying to spin it with this guy, that he was just out there minding his business and wanted to go save a lady that ICE pushed down.
Right.
And that really wasn't what went on. We talked about that the other night. It does look like he was interjecting when that lady got pushed down. Good for him. But he put himself in a bad position by even being out there wanting to be an agitator, and it led to what it led to. But I don't want to get too far into that because that shit went off the rails the other night. When
it really did.
It's already going off the rails. I'm seeing, victim blaming. What about Rittenhouse? What about him? He's alive.
And completely different situation, but
yeah, completely different. He wasn't out there trying to be an agitator. He said it before the fact when somebody was interviewing him that night. He's like, I'm just here to protect the business, just to make sure nothing happens. They didn't like him. Who, for whatever reason, the crowd started their shit with him, and, you know, they got whatever they got. But totally different situation. I mean, he wasn't out there trying to disrupt shit and break shit and destroy shit. So, you know, but then another one, you know, you've seen the chats, defending murder. And it's like, we talked about it the other night. None of us are convinced that shit was justified.
Not at all.
It was avoidable by all means. Absolutely. Avoidable by the victim. Could have been avoided. You could have just not been there. I mean, that's how you keep your ass out of situations like that. You don't fucking go. But then when you want to go and you want to start poking and pushing buttons of these ICE agents while you're armed, it's not going to work out too good for you. And it didn't for him. So, but point being, I don't know what you think on that video, Justin. For one, do you think it's AI?
I don't think it's AI.
I don't
either.
either.
I think it's him.
Yeah. I mean, it just, like I said, it seems very long and very, I mean, you can usually spot AI. I know it's good right now, but you can usually say, oh, no, they're not moving quite right. And, you know, and like I said, most people ain't taking the time to make a video that fucking long, because I didn't play all of it. I wanted to stop playing it before it got too violent and YouTube penalized us. But it's a long video, and most people out there just fucking with people, trolling the internet, aren't taking the time to generate videos like that. I do it myself, so I know. I do it. It's little fucking 5, 10, 15-second long videos just to fuck with people, you know? So.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it was him. I mean, and obviously he wasn't just out there to help people, but I don't know, man. I'm almost back and forth on it because I don't agree with what they're protesting because, you know, I don't have an issue with ICE, but I do think about it of like, what if it was the other way around and they had agents coming through our city for some shit that we completely did not agree with, you know, like say the COVID shots when that was a thing, right?
Yeah.
They were like, well, look, we're going to come and give y'all fucking shots then. We're going to come give y'all the vaccine and you're going to fucking take it. How would we react? You know what I mean? And I feel like they look at ICE the same way we would look at something like that. So I'm like,
no, yeah.
I get the reaction, you know?
No, I get it. You always try to at least maybe get into their brain a little bit, because it's kind of like the left and the right when it comes to politics. The left think the right are vile, just disgusting people, but that's how the right feels about the left. So, you know what I mean? We're looking at each other like you're evil, and then like, no, you're evil. It's kind of like that Spider-Man meme where you're pointing at each other. You know what I mean? And it's just, I get what you're saying, that if it was something we agree with, like the Second Amendment, and they were coming through your city trying to take your guns away, we'd be just as fired up as these people are about the ICE stuff.
And it wouldn't matter that they're federal agents and like, no, like they're the police coming through. We're not going to do anything. Like, no, fuck that. You know what I mean? So I get the outrage and kind of what's going on.
Right. But at the same time, what we've explained in previous shows is ICE is doing what's lawfully allowed.
Well, right.
So if it was against the law to have guns, and I don't mean a law that you just made up overnight. I'm saying since the beginning of time, it was against the law to own guns in Louisiana. And we all had guns, and then the government was coming through to take them. Well, you have no right to interfere with that because it's a lawful order. You know what I mean? And that's how I look at the ICE agents. They're not over there kidnapping people. They're doing something that's been a law in this country, which is you cannot come here illegally. I mean, you can, I guess. It happens all the time. But you are breaking the law. So I know the people out there protesting don't look at it like that. So they're fired up. Their emotions are all fucking high, and they're out there thinking they're doing some good with all of this. I get it. But that, to me, that would be the only difference than the government coming through and forcing you, you know, running down the road, making you take the COVID jab. Well, there's no law for that, you know?
The fucking comments are so stupid.
Well, because they don't even listen to what
comparing ICE to COVID mandates. I'm not even talking about the fucking mandates. I'm just talking about shit we don't agree with.
Right. Here's the problem with the chats and everybody watching this right now. I see the numbers. I see y'all. Thanks for checking it out. Seriously, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on when it comes to politics. We love this shit to get on here and just kind of chop it up and get different opinions. So, but the
Absolutely.
problem is y'all come at us in the very beginning. I don't know if it's because you see 3 white guys sitting here that you just assume who we are. You're like hardcore MAGA cultists,
Right.
but y'all don't even listen to any points that we're making. You're just too busy trying to get your jabs in the comment section. Just listen. We're trying to say we sympathize with people's emotions out there fighting against ICE. But at the same time, you're fighting a battle that you can't win because ICE is doing what they're lawfully able to do. So it's never going to work out for you as a protester. It's not. I mean, you see it. People are dying, and it ain't ICE agents. You know, one got a tip of his finger bit off. I saw that. But, you know, as far as you beating the government when they're doing what they're able to do, there's other ways you need to approach this, which is trying to get laws changed or something. But, you know, out there dying for this cause is foolish. So that's the only difference I would say with them running through our area trying to scoop up guns, is that we can lawfully own guns. So you're damn right. If they came through right now trying to do that, there should be an uprising, right? Because they're over there breaking the law to enforce some bullshit on you. That's not what they're doing with this situation. They're just doing things that people think is morally wrong because they just want open borders for whatever reason. But they're not doing anything unlawful. So that is not even an argument. And anybody that tries to argue that doesn't know what they're talking about.
They really don't. And you hit it right on the head. And, you know, if you sit back and you look at that, and if anybody out here thinks that this is organic protesting, it's not. It's all paid protesting. You can just
a good
tell
portion of it. Yeah.
A lot of it is. I'm sure some of them are out there. We were talking off air,
Right.
Shane, about how they were kind of protesting in our area today for whatever reason. I don't understand it. But a lot of it is just paid protesters. But, you know, it really amazes me that the left had no problem when Obama and Homan did this, and Obama deported 3 million illegals. I don't remember seeing protests from the right or the left
Right.
out there,
Right.
you know, but it was okay. He even received a medal for deporting all these illegals in the country, but I didn't see any uprising from the community at that point in time. Now I'm just wondering, was that a political thing? Was it okay that Obama did it, but God, don't let pedo Trump do it, you know? So I'm dumbfounded with it. I really am.
Well,
you know?
and another thing, just for, you know, those tuning in, and on previous shows, we've stated numerous times that although we sympathize with why people want to be here when it comes to, you know, illegal, the immigrants. I know why they want to be here. I don't blame them at all.
Right.
I don't blame them.
I agree.
But there's just a route that needs to be taken. And I blame this more on the last administration and the Democratic administrations just altogether that allowed these people to come over here like they did. Because now it got out of control to where now when somebody tries to fix the problem, they look like the bad guy now. Because these millions of people flooded across that border, unvetted, criminals. I mean, you name it. You know, it wasn't all just decent, law-abiding people just flooding across that border. So now that the next administration has to come clean up that bullshit, now they're the bad guys.
Right.
When you should be looking at Biden and saying, well, he should have told these people, look, man, you don't need to come over here like this because it's going to lead to families being ripped apart. It's going to lead to people, you know, in being held in jail or whatever the fuck they're doing with them when they round these people up. But they didn't give a fuck about that. All they cared about was importing more citizens to control more areas around the country. That's all that was about. It was about having more seats, more control, and hopefully turning these people into voters in places like California, for one, where you don't have to show an ID. That's all that was about. It wasn't because that administration gave two fucks about these refugees or these immigrants. They don't care about that. It's a political stunt, you know? Right. So now these people are suffering the consequences of an administration saying, come on in, you know? And then when that administration's not around no more, these people are like, oh, what the fuck? They're rounding us up now. Well, fucking right they are. I mean, you're here illegally. So anyway, but that's a whole nother discussion because that gets into a moral thing where people get their feelings into it instead of just really looking at what needs to be done to keep a safe country. We have a hard enough time with our own citizens.
Yes.
So it's like, why try to escalate that, that concern? Yeah, or like, I don't know. It's an argument that you can't ever win on either side because people dig their heels in, and that's just what they're going to believe. So it is a minor offense. I see the chat. I see
It is.
Nate Crook. It is a minor offense. I get it. I get it. But the answer to that isn't, well, it's not a big deal, so let's just have open borders. That's why I said I sympathize with them, but at the same time, I understand you can't just leave your front door unlocked for any and everybody to enter as they want to. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
So now, I know, Brad, you were talking about the paid protesters, and I see somebody, people in the chat saying that it's all organic, and
absolutely,
I actually saw a funny post from a leftist on X saying, you don't have to pay us nothing. We hate you motherfuckers for free. I was like, that's pretty good. I'll give it to you. Yeah, she was on her business, boy. Somebody was giving her hell, and she's like, paid? Like, you ain't got to pay us nothing. We hate you motherfuckers for free. I said, okay.
I don't.
So that was pretty funny.
I guess I'll never understand it. I don't know, man. ICE is here doing a job, trying to round up the illegal criminal element, and these people are protesting that they want them here.
And look, I get it, because a lot of people don't agree with the job that they're doing. That's why they have such hatred for ICE, because it's not so much that they think ICE is out there breaking the law. They don't like what they're doing at all. They just don't think they need to be doing that. Now, there is a lot of allegations that have been thrown around about them deporting innocent people and, rounding up citizens. And if I haven't found a credible source to prove any of that, any of it. I know, Justin, you did a little bit of digging into it, didn't you?
Yeah, I was digging for a little while, and
what have you come up with so far to try to back that up? Because I didn't want to just get on here and make blind claims that it never happens, but I haven't been able to really, like, where are all these people that are getting deported that are citizens?
So the only actual deportations that I could find any kind of credible evidence to is basically children being deported with their parents.
Right.
So children that were born here that, according to the Constitution, are citizens. And when one or both parents are deported, the kid is deported with them. So I assume there's some kind of legal, battle to be fought there.
Sure.
Because you are deporting legal citizens, but it's citizens that wouldn't be able to take care of themselves if their parents weren't
anchor babies.
Here.
Yeah. So it's like, what do you do with them?
Right.
So is the answer just to leave the parents here and just say, all right, well, fuck it. I mean, go on.
I guess what I'm seeing just from doing the digging I was doing on that, it's basically take those and send them through the court process and let the court decide what happens from there, because a legal citizen is involved in it that is either going to have to stay by themselves, which isn't possible because they can't care for themselves, or that legal citizen would have to be deported. Right.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because that's the ones that I see that kind of get me is when I see the children involved, and I've said that before. I mean, you see the children, that innocent kids that have nothing to do with what their parents did, and they get punished because their parents snuck over here illegally or were allowed to walk in by an administration that don't give two fucks about the consequences of that once they're out of office. So now the children suffer, and it's not fun to watch. It's not cool, but it just can't be a free-for-all. When you try to rule with your emotions, it doesn't turn out good. It's like it can't just be that's a liberals thing, is everything is a utopia. Like in a perfect world scenario, this would go on. But it's not a perfect world. Not everybody's a good person. So when you just allow people to waltz into your country unchecked, don't know who the fuck they are, don't care, it's not going to turn out great for a lot of areas where these people move to, and it's just the facts, and not to mention the amount of money that it gets sucked off of the welfare system that taxpayers pay into. That's not fair to taxpayers.
It's really not.
It's not. Now, there may be bleeding heart liberals out there that say, I don't mind. Well, that's fine. Start a fund and have a box you can check on your taxes and say, yes, I want some of my money to go towards illegals.
Right.
Not everybody wants to pay for that shit that works all year for their money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's an argument too that's to be made, is that how much they suck off of the welfare system when they're here. And I mean, you see the massive amounts of fraud that they're uncovering in Minnesota. You know that shit's nationwide. And a lot of that was from the Somali refugees and shit. I mean, it's not a good recipe, man. You cannot run a country like that. You can't run a business like that. You can't run your house like that. And you damn sure can't run a country like that. It's not safe, and it's just not, it's not good for the law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. So,
well, you know, it's like I'm reading a comment here at 9:02 by Jason, and it takes 10 years to naturalize. Dude, I agree with you. It's way too long, man. It is. Somehow there can be some fast track. And, you know, I think I heard somebody online saying, you know, what if you had some illegal family over here? They've been here for 3, 5, 7, maybe 10 years, maybe longer. No criminal record, somehow paying into the system, working, and just living their best life. Should those people say, hey, should we say, hey, they got to go? Personally, I would say no, they need to go through some type of process with no criminal record. They live in the American dream, somehow fast track them into naturalization to where they could stay here. I have no problem with that. But rapists, murderers, serial killers, whatever it might be from other countries, dude, they gotta go.
No, there definitely needs to be a better way of doing this for people that are actually coming here for a better life and are going to be able to contribute to the country, because there's plenty of them. Well, I said it on the last stream, and it still didn't matter to the leftists in the chats, but they're hardworking people. We know them personally. Right. I mean, a lot of them, they're not here to do criminal activity. They're here to have a better life for their family. And you're right, when they have to sit around for a fucking decade going back and forth on work visas and whatever, it should be a better system to say, you know, okay, you have no criminal background. You've held a job for 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is.
Right.
Fucking right. You're productive. Come on over. You know, let's do some paperwork. Let's get this going. This 10-year, 15-year shit or whatever. Yeah, that is ridiculous for people that are just honestly here trying to do the right thing. Right. I mean, it is. So, yeah, I don't know a better way to do that, because you're dealing with the government, and everything the government does is on their fucking time. Right. So I don't know how you speed that up without them putting in a little fucking effort. You know, so it's a tough one, man. It's all tough. Look, the whole immigration thing is a tough argument, because you do have some heartless people that are like, fuck them all, fuck everybody, kill them all, send them, whatever. And it's, you know, but it's like, I get both sides of the argument. I just think that there's, you know, it can't be a free for all, but at the same time, we can make it a little bit easier for people that are coming for the right reason, you know?
Yes. Not sucking on benefits, not just living on the system, not assimilating. You know what I'm saying? All that has to be taken into consideration.
Yeah. And you're not going to come over here and shit on the country. That's the, you know, you see that a lot, you know, you see, especially with the politicians like that Omar girl. I mean, that's all she does. Just how bad America is. And, you know, it's like, no, you're not going to do that. Like, you know, I'm not saying you got to get on your fucking knees and blow the fucking current president, but it's like, you can't talk shit about how bad this country is and then want to be part of it. Well, get the fuck. I mean, it's that simple. And
you're prospering beyond belief in this country.
Well, yeah, somebody like her, right, making millions and still talk shit like it's the worst country ever, you know? So I don't know, man. It's a tough one. It's, like I said, it's a never ending argument for one,
right? Because
people are never going to see eye to eye on it. And a lot of times I don't even think a lot of times it's because people really care. I think it's just to argue with the other side. You know,
that's what it seems like.
It's
a distraction. It really is. It's a distraction, man.
Well, not only that, but just meaning like the citizens that are arguing with each other. I don't think half of them give two fucks about any of this immigration shit, but it's something else to argue with about the other side that didn't vote your way. You know, it's that I'm going to stick it to them shit and not agree with anything they say. You know, that's where we're at right now.
Look, man, these globalists out there want nothing more than mostly America, man, because we're free, Second Amendment, whatever you want. They want nothing more than just citizens pinned against each other while they do what they got to do in these backroom deals, and they want us to hate each other. And you know,
well, and another thing, just circling back for a second on the we were talking about the kind of myths that go along with the ICE deportations on who they're deporting. Some people, they're deporting, citizens and yada yada. There's been a couple cases where some citizens were held over, I guess, whether it be a mistake or whatever, but they were always released. Right. None of them were sent to a fucking foreign country that they didn't even belong in. At least I haven't seen any credible
been able to pull one up.
None. No. And we've dug on this before we got on here just to kind of, because we wanted to talk about that and would like to bring some sort of facts to it, at least what we've seen. I mean, because we don't know. We're not there. Nobody watching is there behind the lines really dealing with this shit. So all we can go by are sources that we find that we consider, reputable. And I haven't seen anybody.
I looked for any sources, even ones that I didn't consider reputable,
right,
but all I saw was the headlines of ICE is known to deport, illegal citizens. And I'm like, all right, well,
okay. Yeah,
let's get some names and nothing.
No, and you're not going to find any. That's the problem. You're going to get people that argue with you and say, yes, they do it all the time. My sister's cousin's uncle had somebody that worked with them. But you don't see any major news sites that are actually giving you any proof that this is a problem, with ICE. It's just another thing, some more rhetoric to buck up people on one side to push back against what that side doesn't like. And that's what's causing all of this chaos with this immigration. It's no different than when they start all the race wars in this country. Right. It's just politicians and the media building this shit up and building it up to where they're getting people fired up to go out in the streets and fight their fucking battles for them. And that's all they're doing. And I think it's all just most of it's a fucking distraction, just to keep us idiots busy on YouTube arguing with each other in the chats. So.
And these politicians in Minnesota, man, want this. They love it, dude. They loving this. It's distracting them from the main cause, which is all this fraud with the Somali bullshit. And Lord knows what Fry or Tampon Tim has done or taken or stolen, and that's just, it's getting all of the grief off of them. And here we are, they're dealing.
Justin, look that name up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Look it up and see what's behind that. Like I said, I have no problem with saying, we were wrong on that. I want to know.
Absolutely. I even got with my liberal friend and I was like, please send me names. Like I want to know. So
what?
I'm looking it up right now.
Damn it. The chats are going too fast. I can't find it again. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I want to see. Because he's talking about there was one, and I want to see. But even if it was, that's one case. But if you listen to the media, it's just a rampant problem. Hour. Yeah, it's anything to paint ICE, worse than they really are, and that's not a new game that they're playing. It's everything that the media talks about or a politician talks about. It's all biased. Any way you're getting it, it's biased. Because if you listen to Fox News, the ICE agents never do anything wrong. If you listen to CNN, that's all they do. So, I mean, come on now. I mean, the truth is going to be somewhere in the middle. I mean, ICE, it's still human beings out there running around. So are they perfect? No, they're not perfect. I don't think that shooting the other day was perfect. I know it's hard to even say it was justified at all, just watching it from afar. So, I mean, by all means, they can make mistakes just like anybody else can, but it's not like they're these evil Nazis running around either, like CNN likes to paint them.
Dude, it's ridiculous. So pissed.
And then they want to, and then they want to paint ICE to be Nazis, and then when people start confronting them and this chaos ensues, then all of a sudden these politicians, they want to get on there and talk about how bad it is and that the violence needs to stop and we need to get a hold of this. And while the whole time they were inciting this shit for months, Yeah. It's crazy. And like I said, the media is not innocent either because they're just fucking they're propaganda machines too. And
they're mouthpieces of the left, dude, for sure.
Yeah. For the most part, yeah. Anything on that name, Justin?
Yeah, he was an Army veteran. He came to America from Venezuela when he was 4 years old. And he wound up getting deported, and then actually Venezuela deported him as well because they didn't believe that his birth certificate was real.
Interesting.
So,
but it says like in this article that he kind of fell within a weird immigration issue. So I'm trying to see if he was a full citizen
Yeah,
by
like
the time he was deported,
right. Like, what's
or
the catch? In other words, if there was one.
which
If-
I would assume that you would need to be a citizen to join the army, but I could be wrong there. I've never tried to join the army.
Well, before we got on here, Brad, we were, without naming names, I mean, you were just telling us that the NOPD, the New Orleans Police Department over here by us,
Yes.
what did you say? They just got rid of somebody that wasn't even a fucking citizen that was on the damn payroll.
He was in the academy. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think
So
he
he
had
had
done
also-
the academy starting. So yeah, I think he was.
So
in
he
the
had
academy.
joined the academy with false paperwork.
Yeah, and this
He's a-
dude, Jose Barco, he got arrested by federal immigration officers the day he walked out of Colorado State Penitentiary after spending 15 years behind bars.
Wow.
Okay. What was he behind bars for?
It doesn't say.
But it's not giving you
because-
any details at all as far as what, if he was cut and dried, deported, and he was a citizen and he got to come back and just live a normal fucking citizen life in America.
Okay, so it says here he is not a U.S. citizen. He applied for citizenship between tours in the summer of 2006 while he was stationed at Fort Carson. His commanding officer helped him complete his citizenship application. So his application should have been approved by the end of calendar year 2026. At some point, the packet was lost. We have not been able to find the chain of custody
Right.
document. So no, he was not a legal citizen. Now, I mean, he served in the army, so it's like,
should have gave him a pass. He served the country. Give him a pass.
but by the time he was deported, he wasn't a legal citizen. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But how
yeah,
do
there
you
you
get
go.
that
That's
far?
what
I
I
would
mean,
have signed his papers. I'd have married him so he could stay.
Yeah.
But
But there was a catch to that story. You
Right.
know? It wasn't just as simple as they just picked on a guy out of a crowd and said, you know what, you're going to fucking Mexico, wherever the fuck they sent him, and then all of a sudden, well, he was a citizen, but we don't care. There's always something to it. That's what I mean. There's always there's a middle ground when that shit's being reported by either side. So
I can agree with Trees. So let him back. What the fuck?
So let him back. That's one that's one right there where that path should be fast. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It should be quick because apparently he
can
did
be.
nothing. Now, I want to know what he went to prison for though for 15 fucking years. 'Cause
I'll
that
find out.
Could make a difference.
Nate is asking if Jesus was illegal, would you deport him?
If Jesus, yes.
You gotta
Nate
go.
was the same one that was just laughing because we were researching it. Like, why is that funny?
I know. And then I'm seeing us
We're not
called
we're not
echo
fucking-
chambers. Like
We're not Fox News. There's no teleprompter in front of us telling us what to say. We're fucking talking, and we're trying to have discussions. And I mean, just I don't know. That's a weird thing to laugh at. I mean, let's not research it at all. Let's just get on here and spit out bullshit and hope
maybe
it's
we
true.
don't let him
All night
back.
long.
Maybe we don't let him back. So he was convicted of attempted murder in 2009 after shooting a pregnant woman.
Yeah, fuck him. So he needs to
So-
go.
Jose's
fuck
got to
him.
stay where he's at.
Yeah, let's feel sorry for him. Let's feel
He-
sorry that
he
ICE
was
picked his.
Sentenced to 52 years and paroled after serving 15.
Yeah. No. Be
That's one
smart
for the
before
left,
you
dude.
just say dumb shit.
Yeah.
So if we say this is what we heard or this is what we read or, somebody was telling me this, but let's make sure it's true. That's just saying dumb shit.
No, that's
I-
stupid. Don't research. Just believe
No.
everything.
Yeah. This isn't one of them pretty pre-recorded podcasts that you like to listen to. I mean, this is live right now. So I just don't understand the hate when it comes from that end. I mean, this isn't polished and pretty and scripted. If that's what you want, go watch fucking Andrew Schultz or something. I don't know, somebody besides this one. Fuck
Don
tell you.
Lemon,
Go watch
motherfucker.
Theo. He's full of fucking, just intelligent. Go watch our Louisiana native Theo Vaughn and let him fill your brain
Theo.
up.
Yeah, Don Lemon too. Go watch him. Yeah.
There you
He's
go.
in-
But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not gonna argue with people in the chats all night. I love you guys. Like, y'all got me into that. The Monday we were on here, and they caught me up in that with arguing with everybody in the fucking chats, and I ain't doing it tonight. Damn it.
They fucking had you going, huh, dude?
I'm like a fucking lawyer. I love to argue, but I'm not going to do it tonight. I ain't going to do it. We're going to have a peaceful conversation. We're going to try to, we'll bring up some topics. We may research them live. Sorry. We may try to fact check some of this stuff. Even shit we say, you're just going to have to live with that.
I just hope all these people are liking and subscribing this channel, man.
Nah, they're just talking shit. Yeah, hit the subscribe button at least. Then you can come back 3 times a week with us and talk shit. It's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, I did see that old Mom Downey's back in the fucking news.
Yeah, he was shoveling snow, dude.
Yeah,
what?
he made these, he made some remarks, in a recent statement he put out at that little press conference or whatever that he was doing, that he described the city's budget situation as a serious fiscal crisis. He's basically begging for money, and the only way to do it is just tax the fuck out of more.
Tax the rich, baby.
Yeah,
that's it.
The projected budget gap is around $12 billion over the next 2 fiscal years. It's all, like I said, what he wants to do is 2% additional income tax on the top 1%.
Absolutely, dude.
And like you said, it's just tax the rich. And the problem is, like you and I know, all that does is eventually it just runs those type of people off that can afford to be taxed. You know what I mean? So then you're left with nothing. The New York City.
It's not even that, Shane. It's really the ones that can be taxed. They're smart enough and have enough funds that they're going to be like, yeah, fuck you.
That's what I'm saying. It runs all of them off. If they're making that kind of money, they can move. So the problem is, you got New York City's top 1% is already, it shoulders about 40% of income tax revenue right now over there.
Wow.
Well, how long do you think these guys are going to eat that shit for when you keep wanting to go up on them?
Yeah, exactly, dude.
This is why this socialism nonsense that they like to preach never works. It never fucking works.
No.
It's that's his first big move, is it's not cutting waste, but begging Albany to jack up taxes on job creators. His 2% millionaire surcharge and 11.5% corporate rate hike. It could rake in $9 billion, but at what cost? We've seen this movie before. High taxes chase away the wealthy. It's never fails.
Every
and
time,
it's, of course, it's a blame game. Instead of just owning the mess, he points to, the fingers at the previous Adams and Como for, it's everything's their fault. I'm gonna get you out of it by just taxing the fuck out of people. It's just nuts, man, that people fall for that shit, and it just runs down these cities even more than they are. And but they voted for it. We always say, they voted for it. Yeah, let them get what they voted for, I guess.
Dude, and you're speaking of that, and I'm gonna kind of throw it the other way here, man, and I'm gonna interject here with that. And you're talking about these liberal Marxist, I call them communists, dude, if that's what you want to call them, dude. But you look at even going to the beautiful state of Virginia, man. I don't know if you've done any research on that when we look at this Abigail Spanberger,
right.
So here's this, you see her picture. It's just like, God, just true leftist, true Marxist, man. It's like,
that's all you gotta do.
Dude,
spot it from a mile away.
Absolutely, dude. It's like I want to throw up in the garbage can, But, you look at here, like the past governor leaves a $2.7 million budget, man. And she's talking about 4.3% tax on any Uber, Amazon. She's talking about, bringing back the DEI hires, definitely going into the Second Amendment. I think it's going to make a great show when we put our content together on this. It's just, here we go. Here's another state that'll probably in the next few years, just unless, I don't know, man, evidently somebody voted her in there. So are the constituents all hip with this?
Well,
I don't know.
Is that the one I was reading about where they were talking about I don't know if it was just crazy ass tax percentages on ammunition and shit like that.
Yes.
I thought
exactly
so.
right.
I thought I came across that, and I was like, all that does is, I mean, I people that just can't afford to protect themselves. You know,
Exactly.
it's crazy when I mean, the Second Amendment should be a right for everybody, but then they do stupid shit like that where they want to put it to where only a select few can afford to buy shit to protect themselves. And it's I don't know, man. That's another
It's
one.
true
Like,
because even if you look at back in the day, man, where government was looking at some of these liberals out there were looking at putting an expiration date on ammunition, whatever chemicals or whatever they were going to put in ammunition that it would
right?
expire, you know. And it's just like,
Yeah,
dude, you know, and the whole tax on ammunition. What better way to stop the average guy from being able to afford guns for shooting or just protection or whatever, you know? So. Look,
yeah,
liberalism is upon us, brother. It's here. It's not going anywhere. Like I said, I've been out a few podcasts, but like I've said, Trump is nothing more than a hiccup in this country to what's truly and pressing against this country. So people better wake up. And if you accept it, fuck you. But if you don't, you better get on board and start fighting and start voting. That's all I can say, man.
yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
you know, like I said, they it's a fact over there in Virginia. I mean, they are
Yep.
pushing to expand the sales tax base to hit everyday services like you were talking about with the
Yes.
landscaping, the gym memberships, the vehicle repairs,
Landscaping,
food
dude.
delivery.
They want to do away with gas fucking blowers, dude. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, dude.
Well, we're right, and this is you know, like I said, the sales tax on all of that. You know, it's crazy, man. The new progressive income tax brackets are on the table. That's slamming higher rates on anybody with taxable income over $600,000 because apparently success is now a crime in Virginia. Meanwhile, they're handing out special tax breaks to retired federal employees, of course.
Right.
You know, leaving the regular folks to foot the bill for that.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's not about fairness. It's about fucking control. You know, they're turning Virginia into a tax hiking outlier in a region where other states are slashing taxes. I mean, hopefully people will remember this shit in the midterms, man. I don't know.
I thought Virginia was better than that, dude. I really did.
Yeah,
Evidently not, you know.
But I know we kind of touched on the last stream, you know, what they were doing with the firearm stuff over there, the Second Amendment shit, and they got the bills out there like the HB 1094 and the SB 763 over there that proposes 11% tax on firearms and ammunition, not just the ammunition. So, you know, like I had mentioned before, that kind of makes self-defense a luxury only, you know, the elite can afford. And, you know, I think other measures were mandatory waiting periods on gun purchases, bans on leaving firearms unattended in vehicles. I mean, we do that a lot over here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I make sure my door's locked, but if I go into a store and I don't think I need to have my fucking gun on me, it's in the store. So now is that going to be something like that's penalized over there?
Yeah,
you know?
That's what she's wanting to propose. Absolutely. You know?
And then even civil, this is the craziest one, civil liability for the gun industry if their products are used in crimes. That is ridiculous. For one, admittingly, if they could ever get something like that passed, it would crush the gun manufacturing industry.
And
if
it's nothing
every
new.
time they always talk about that. But if that was to ever be passed, them leftists would get their way. I'll give it to them. That is the best thing they could ever get passed if you want to destroy gun manufacturing.
What a way, dude.
Can you imagine every time something happened with a gun you produced, you were fucking getting civilly sued?
You're liable for it? Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
my God, dude. You know, like it would. I will say that would be a huge win in their books, you know, and I got to give it to them. That would be slick if they could ever get that to pass through. Well, what gun manufacturer wants a piece of that? You know, that's the only reason these pharmaceutical companies are able to get away with the murder that they commit at their product. You know, the deaths that their products cause is because they can't be held liable.
Right.
So, I mean, if they could, half the drugs on the market probably wouldn't be there, you know, and that could be good and bad because there are a lot of drugs that need to be developed to, you know, sustain human life. You know, there's a lot of medicines that are important, but in the mix of that, they're able to throw in tons of bullshit that they know isn't good for you, but there's no repercussions they face. So anyway, so that's kind of how the gun manufacturing business, you know, it would disappear if you were able to sue them every time somebody got hurt or killed with product you made. That's ridiculous.
It's so right up their alley. That's what they want, dude.
Well, we're getting rid of our guns anyway because Donnie T said today you can't just carry guns.
Oh.
So
what you mean?
I don't know what
does
state
that
you in,
mean?
Yeah.
Said you can't walk in with guns. You can't just carry guns. Let's see. Oh Jesus, it's loud. Hold on, pulling it up.
Pull it up.
Getting some audio turned down here because it's screaming.
Yes. Oh, Don.
Pull it up. What are we doing?
I'm working on it, man.
Goddamn. People are
Shit.
like, come on. People are like, what are we doing here?
Here we go.
Sir, was Mr. Pretti acting as an assassin? Do you think he was acting as an assassin in Minneapolis? Who is that? Mr. Pretti, your deputy chief of staff said that. You don't think so?
With that being said, you can't have guns. You can't walk in with guns.
What about the Second Amendment?
Listen, you can't walk in with guns. You can't do that. But it's just a very unfortunate incident.
Sir, was Mr. Pretti acting?
Can't walk in. What does he mean? Like at the protest?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all. That was his whole quote. Was you can't have
Yes.
guns. You can't walk in with guns.
Right.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. You can
Fuck
walk
him,
where
'cause
you want
I
with
did
fucking
see
guns.
a rumor.
Fuck you, Don.
I seen a rumor going around, and I only know it's a rumor because I did my research on it, but they were claiming that in Minnesota it was illegal to bring a firearm to protest. Turns out it wasn't true. It's some bullshit people were sharing online. So I don't know if that's where Trump might have got that from, because I guess that's what he was getting at, that you can't just go in there with a firearm.
Right.
And it's like, fuck him. If it ain't illegal, the guy had all the right in the world to have a gun. Now, it wasn't a great decision on his part, as we found out, but I don't think he was violating any law, according to what I was reading today, that there's no law against doing what he did, So
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
no, like I said, I think it was a dumb fucking decision. If you were going to be packing, you better stay the fuck away from law enforcement and stop. Don't try to encourage the problem at all. And that's exactly what he did. That shit escalated for no fucking reason, and now he
really
lost
did.
his life over it.
And I've been seeing again. I don't know whether he had an ID or not. I didn't get a chance to search the dude, but apparently with whatever the concealed carry permit laws over there, you have to have an ID. So people were like, oh, he didn't have an ID, so he wasn't legally carrying a gun. And my point is, for one, he shouldn't even need to have a concealed carry permit. That's fucking ridiculous by itself. He shouldn't need to have an ID on him to carry a concealed firearm.
Right.
That's fucking ridiculous in itself. So
true.
this fucking government needs to get it the fuck together.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't even be, like you said, so complicated to exercise your right, a constitutional right, which is to have fucking firearm. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, to me, that's why I think this guy had all the right in the world to be carrying that gun that he was carrying.
Absolutely.
And now, speaking of that case, I'll pull up a video, and this is an attorney, and he describes himself as a self-defense expert. His name is Andrew Branca, I think is how you pronounce it, but he's saying the shooting of Alex Pretti was justified, and he lays out why. Now, I purposely didn't watch the video earlier. I just came across it because I wanted to try to, with everybody, hear what he's saying and kind of see if it makes any sense. So let's pull this video up and check out what this gentleman's talking about here. And if it sucks, excuse me, I haven't watched it before, so let's just check it out.
Nothing's inconsistent with this being a lawful use of force by the officers.
Yeah, explain that a bit more. Many people still wondering if the shooting was legally justified, and given what you've been able to review up until now, what is your opinion?
Well, the legal question is, did the officers who shot Alex Pretti have a reasonable, not necessarily correct, but a reasonable perception that he was presenting as an imminent, unlawful, deadly force threat? And that's presumed to be the case. A prosecutor would have to disprove that proposition beyond any reasonable doubt. So it's a very high burden to overcome that justification. And what evidence did these officers have? Well, the moment Alex Pretti interfered with the arrest of the woman in the white coat, gets shoved by his CBP officer. He makes contact with that officer. The moment he makes contact with that officer, he's just committed a federal felony good for 8 years in a federal penitentiary. That's why they were seeking to make his arrest, because they saw him commit a forcible felony against a fellow officer. Then he's non-compliant with arrest. He's fighting them. Then they discover he has a gun on his person. They take that gun. There's cries of gun, gun, gun. The officers call to each other. He's still non-compliant. They hear a gunshot go off, and Alex Pretti's right hand comes from his waistline with a black object in his hand. That combination of facts is going to get you shot 999 times out of 1,000 by law enforcement, and justifiably so. They're making all these perceptions, all these decisions in a violent, chaotic melee caused by Alex Pretti. They have to make all these decisions in a split second because that's how quick someone can use a weapon against you. And those decisions, again, they don't have to be correct. The law of self-defense does not require us to make perfect decisions. It requires us to make reasoned decisions, meaning you're applying your powers of reason to the facts presented to you. You're not making things up. You're not speculating someone could have a weapon. Now, probably the item in his hand would turn out to be maybe one of his spare magazines or maybe a cell phone, but it doesn't matter what it actually was. It matters how it would be reasonably perceived given that combination of facts. And reasonably perceiving it as a weapon is well within the realm of reason.
Can you argue with that at all?
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's hard.
It's
man.
kind of like I said from the beginning, like I see how it happened, but having the hindsight of video and being able to look at everything, it's like, I don't like it, but.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. You look at it, like I said, from the outside looking in, it's like, it's hard to justify what happened to him. But then when you listen to someone explain it like that, and from a legal standpoint, I mean, he did put himself in that situation to be tussling with the agents. You cannot go touch a federal agent while he's doing his. You can't touch him at all, especially when they're doing their job. So right there, he broke the law, as that guy explained it. Now, that alone doesn't justify a death sentence.
It doesn't.
But now when they're telling you, look, you're going to jail now. You pushed the federal officer, come here, put your hand, whatever they were telling him, get down, put your hands on your back, blah, blah, and you don't listen and you want to argue and not comply. Well, you did it to yourself. Like, how can anybody see it any other way? When you broke the law by touching an officer, he approaches you to put your ass in cuffs now because you just broke the fucking law. Mm-hmm. You get yourself shot tussling with him because you're armed, and it's the ICE agent's fault. I don't understand how people go down that path and come to that conclusion. Doesn't mean it's good for the guy. It doesn't mean we're celebrating the death of this guy, but to say he bears no fault at all is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You're not watching the fucking video and you're not listening to any kind of reason when it comes to that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, good point.
No,
brother.
somebody argue.
I still don't like tan coat. I don't fuck with tan coat, but.
Well, for ones that don't know, tan coat is the guy that the agent that pulled the gun out of Pretti's waist, right? Out of his holster. He's the one who pulled the gun out of him and then ran off with it. Basically without saying a word to anybody else. So these officers don't know if this dude was still armed or not. I mean, I would assume. And there's still an argument going on whether or not that gun accidentally discharged when that agent was running off with it. And that's what set off the chain of events to where the other agent started shooting. That's still something that's being discussed and has not been proven, yes or no yet. And if that's the case, like we spoke about Monday, it sheds a whole different light on the situation. If a gun went off and the other officers had no idea where that shot came from, but they know at one point this guy had a gun because that was screamed loud and clear, gun, gun, gun. And then pow, a shot goes off. Right. And you can't tell if that first shot was from an agent or from the idiot running off with Purdy's gun. So that right there, like I said, it's so hard to tell from those videos, but that is another argument that's been going on. So, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to see
He broke
body
the
cam and be able
intelligent
to
law.
hear kind of what's happening, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it would, that would be interesting if they release the body cam footage to really get an up close. And you got to have it, like you said, with the audio and an up close view, because as I mentioned, if that agent running off with that gun and it discharged, dude, that really opens up a whole can of worms now, because then it's like, for one, he's at fault for running off like a dipshit and pulling the trigger on the gun. But then again, you get into the thing where SIG has reportedly had that issue with those pistols of them going off for no fucking reason. So I don't know. And that's if it went off. It may not have went off and none of this matters. You know, they may have just made a knee-jerk reaction. The guys wrestling on the ground and you know, they're in fear of their lives and they pulled the trigger. So it could be that simple. You know, either way, dumb decision that could have been avoided all the way around.
Right. Exactly.
So,
and a life was lost, dude. And it's really sad.
well, right. And that's what I mean. There's no need to celebrate it. And that's kind of how I got on the other night. I was talking about it. You know, they couldn't wait to celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk.
No,
But that's the
they
last
love
thing.
that.
Ever since this incident went down, even with the Renee Good shooting, we've had tons of episodes since then, and not once have we celebrated the death of somebody just because they're on the other side of the political
never do.
spectrum. It's
No.
a disgusting habit that a lot of people have. And I'm not saying nobody on the right did that, because I'm on X all day long and I see it. I see the disgusting behavior of people getting on there typing out shit because of how easy it is to work them thumbs and talk shit about somebody who got killed, doing what Justin talked about earlier, which is in their mind, they're doing the right thing. You know what I mean? They're not out there to do something, evil or bad, because to them, they're doing what they need to do to help somebody. Well,
Yep.
doesn't mean we have to agree with what they're doing, but I don't think they were out there with any malice intent.
Ill intent, right.
Right. I think they were out there really trying to protest and help people out that they, think are being wronged by the government. Right. So in their mind, they're doing the right thing. It got them killed, but I don't know if they were willing to die for it if they thought that bad about it. But, either way, point was, it wasn't anything to be celebrated like those disgusting animals on the left did when Charlie Kirk and even when Trump got shot at, Right. all the just the nastiness we saw come from that side. And yet we're the bad side. We see it all night in the chats. We're the bad people.
Absolutely. 100%, dude.
Yeah. We're the bad ones. Yeah.
What
That's
up,
how it
deplorable
works.
vet?
Deplorable vet's in the house? What is going
is.
on?
Really, dude. Go ahead, dude.
Yep. Half the people are okay. No one is good.
Yep.
I'll take it. I'll take it. If deplorable vet says it, I will take it. But what else is going on? Tired of talking about fucking ICE. I did see an unhinged. Well, all right. We got to talk about ICE again. Only because there was an unhinged Virginia nurse who encouraged colleagues to inject ICE agents with a paralytic drug.
Yeah.
Was fired.
Good.
Fired, okay? And it's a surprise to this dumb bitch.
Yeah, of
This
course.
is how
Yeah.
this is how far people on the left have been able to take their fucking rhetoric to where they got used to being able to do shit and say shit like that without
Yes.
any consequences.
Right.
None.
Right.
And they don't know how to handle it now when reality smacks them in the fucking mouth.
Right.
So now she's on TikTok, bitching and
course.
crying about how,
That she is.
she's been fired. And it's like, well, what the fuck you think was going to happen when you're a nurse encouraging other healthcare workers to do something like that to ICE agents?
Isn't that something?
Like, good for you.
Yes.
Good for that bitch, I hope she loses everything she ever worked for. That, you get so wrapped up in politics that is your job as, or your advice, I'm sorry, as a healthcare provider. That is your advice to other healthcare workers. That's how wrapped up you are in this political nonsense. And then you want to act surprised when the hospital comes to you and says, "Hey, we can't have you
let
here
you
no
go.
more."
You
Yeah.
can't do this.
Look, dude, I hope she loses her license, dude, to be honest with you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck her, dude. You know,
That's
just
crazy,
like I
man.
read last week, dude, or yeah, maybe Monday or something. I read, dude, where some anesthesiologist, anesthetist, or whatever he might be, was saying that he will not treat Republicans, dude,
Right.
on the medical table. He will not treat them, dude. And it's like, really, dude?
Yeah.
I thought you held an oath, dude. It doesn't matter your political means,
Well,
dude.
look,
You know?
I'm registered independent, so hopefully they'll be like,
So
oh, he's independent. All right, yeah, we'll take care of him. So neither side can be mad at me.
no, exactly, dude. Yeah,
No,
you
but
just
you
wanna-
know, it's funny though, because there are people in this world that over politics would do that to someone
sure,
and
absolutely,
not
dude.
provide them with the care they need because they are so brainwashed by the
Right.
side that they vote for that they want to align with.
Right.
But then they look at themselves like they're virtuous, like
Sure.
they're the good person.
Absolutely.
And that's how good a job the media and the politicians have done painting the opposition as evil people.
Yes.
That these people think they're doing a justice, just like when Charlie Kirk got murdered. Well, a lot of people thought, well, that's good because he was an evil bigot, Nazi, racist, all the names that the media and the left threw at him for years. So they looked at it like, well, what's the problem?
Right.
What's the harm in somebody like that being gone? If you had a chance to take out Hitler, wouldn't you do it? Well, and the worst part about it is the people that are painting these people like that when they know that's not the truth. Like the media, they know Charlie Kirk wasn't as bad as they described. He probably wasn't as good as some people say he was, but he wasn't as bad as what they were saying either.
No. Not when you had the Biden administration trying to lock him up in jail, and bring federal charges against him. And look, it's a shame it would happen to Charlie Kirk, and it just
that's what I'm
a
saying.
shame it with Good and with this lady Good and this other guy, it's a shame, dude. Nobody deserves to die over this political bullshit.
Oh, the
man,
political shit, bro. It's crazy, man.
It's
And people are
fucking
doing
nuts,
it.
dude.
And then people
I
are
get
willing
the whole
to
protesting thing. I get it. Yeah, look. You believe it. You believe it's a good cause. Do go protest it. It's just like we talked earlier in the podcast. And if the government came down, they trying to take your Second Amendment rights. Goddamn, we'd probably be out there protesting the same shit. So
well, some people look. They protest when the McRib is going away. I get it,
dude.
You
Yeah,
know,
dude,
I get.
yeah,
Look, go
dude.
protest for what you believe in.
I
But
like a McRib, dude.
my advice is to not die for it.
Do not, I would not.
Then you're
die
doing
for a
nobody
McRib.
any good.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
any of this shit.
No.
It ain't worth dying for. None of it.
No, exactly.
None of it's that fucking serious, honestly. Unless you're the one like I was talking about the other night. The ones that should be more fired up and willing to fight are the ones that they're rounding up, sending back to a home country that they don't want to be at.
Sure.
When they're here trying to make a better life. If anybody's going to die for it, it would be them saying, no, fuck that. I don't want to go back.
We ain't going. Right.
Not these white woke, social justice warriors that are out there causing fucking trouble. And it's like, are you willing to die for this? I guarantee you 100% of them would say no. They just don't expect, reality to hit them every now and then. And that's what happened to Renee Good and this Alex Pretti guy.
Right.
They weren't going out there with the
right.
intentions on, I'm going to go cause chaos. And if I die, I die. There's no way that they went out there with that mentality. They got caught up in the hype. They thought we're untouchable because we're in a place like Minneapolis where, there's no fucking law and order, basically, because it's run by fucking far left liberals. And the last thing they care about is law and order. So they know that in the past they were able to get away with the nonsense they do. You look at when the fucking riots came through with the BLM shit and all of that in these liberal places, there was no consequences for any of these people. So they get used to that. Well, then when there are some consequences, they don't know how to act. So what do? They refuse to listen to law enforcement. They fight with law enforcement to the point of it gets physical. Damn near runs one over with a vehicle, and then they wonder why people get shot by ICE agents.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you want to go out there and play fucking hero, be ready for the consequences because it comes with them.
Yes, I agree.
And that's it. I'll shut up for the rest of the night. So everybody in the chat's like, thank fucking God.
God damn.
Do you think it should be false advertisement to call the McRib a McRib?
I do. I think they ought to be sued. Because what is it, like chicken? What kind of meat is it?
I think it's pork shoulder.
Oh, so it could be. It just don't have no bone in it, huh?
There's no rib. There's no
Yeah.
rib there. It's just
Just
a
biting.
Mick pork sandwich.
I like it.
Pork.
Fucking
'em.
fucks.
Yeah, if you're dumb enough to eat it, eat it. That shit, I never liked that shit. People go crazy over that when it comes
They
back.
do too.
I'm like, have you tasted that shit? Like, ugh. I don't care what it is or what they call it. I'm not buying that crap. I never was a fan. I just think it's funny. I see people online like just dying to get the McRib back, and everybody's going excited because the McRib is back. And it's like, no, the McRib is what? What's he talking about?
GAF.
It's gas as fuck. Is it really? I don't know. I never liked it, but it's been
Me
probably
neither. I can't say I've
20
ever tried
years.
it, dude. I can't say I've ever tried a McRib.
I feel like it's different every time they bring it back.
I feel like we've
It's like, all right, and then it's not, and you know.
I feel like we come to the point where we may have to delete this channel when we're talking about the McRib. It's
You brought it up.
I did. I was trying to change the tone, man. This politics shit gets everybody worked up. I'm sorry. Let's talk about the McRib for a second, you know. Nah, just people, like I said, people get so
McRib, dude.
worked up over it, and then we start arguing. And I told myself I wasn't going to argue with people in the chats all night long. I'm not going to let them get me to that point, and it never fails. Now, I want to answer the big question.
Let's do
I don't know how many people saw it, but basically, is Candace Owens full-fledged retarded, or is she playing stupid here? So she put that post out on X for the ones that haven't seen it yet. Back online after internet blackout. I grew up in Connecticut and have truly never seen an ice like this before. The temperature is 30 degrees, but the ice in our trees tops is not melting at all. Never seen anything like this. Anybody else? Can you find the stupidity in that?
Math is hard.
There's no way.
Numbers are tough.
I almost want to believe she can't be this stupid, but when you start hearing the roads that Candace Owens has been going down lately, especially with all this Charlie Kirk shit, I think she may be like borderline retarded, and she, like, to even put something out. This is either a major fucking troll or this woman has lost some brain cells somewhere.
Maybe she's talking Celsius.
That's what she's doing.
See?
That's how I would defend it. You know, when you look stupid for putting something. And then she backed it up. I will take a video to show you guys what I mean, but it's almost like dry ice, and it's taking it out an absurd amount of trees. Again, 30 degrees, and none of the ice is dripping from the trees. She's got to be fucking with everybody, right? Please tell me nobody's that stupid, an adult.
Somehow she'll blame Erica Kirby.
It's a big question. I want everybody a yes or a no in the chats. Is Candace Owens retarded? We got to figure this out tonight. The world needs to know. Just a simple yes or no. Y'all start hitting it. This is going to be the deciding factor, and there'll be major news stations reporting on it that they have figured out whether or not she's full-fledged retarded or not. As I said, we got a yes. We got a no. We got to know a yes. Come on, y'all.
We got a yes.
People
Borderline?
get legit political advice from this girl, too.
Yeah. No, she's not. Maybe. I like a maybe. I'll take that. More than likely, Matt. Jacob says yes. All right. Somebody's telling us to repent and turn from your ways. Not going to happen. I like not a cult of personality. Never go full retard. I like it. Don Lemon. Yes, we got a big yes. And yeah, I'm going with yes. So there it is.
I think it majority wins.
You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first. Breaking news. Candace Owens retarded. That's going to be the headline
Candace,
tomorrow.
reach out to us
everywhere.
And you can defend your issue, you know? Yeah. You know
Mad says maybe dumber than AOC.
Ooh, bro. I thought I was being bad calling her retarded. Now he done said she's dumber than AOC.
That's
who said
dumb,
that?
Dude.
Who said that?
Mad Rush at 9:15.
Mad, we don't talk like that on this program. It's very degrading. Calling somebody dumber than AOC, bottom of the barrel, man. That's horrible. That is too low. It's too low. What we got here? Maybe
we should put him in a spelling bee.
Maybe.
Dude, I'm seeing shit AOC 2028, dude.
Ooh, AOC 2028. I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Dude. Yeah.
But anyway. All right. Anything else important? We done figured out Candace Owens is retarded. We haven't figured out shit about the Alex Pretti thing. That's, some people say fuck ICE, some say he deserved it. So we can't. We're not even gonna try to solve that mystery.
Yep.
What else? A lot of fraud going on. Your girl got squirted on. Ilhan Omar, of course, took a little skeet to the chest area. Still don't know if that was staged or not. So, yeah, we basically didn't solve much of anything tonight, which is typical of our show.
Yeah,
it's kind of what we do.
I feel like we're getting closer, though.
One day we're gonna get there. We just pose a bunch of questions, and that's it.
Ice baby, yeah, exactly.
I know. Anyway,
I love it.
All right, let's wrap it up. It was a good one. It was a fun one. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it. We will be back at this Friday night. Seems to be our big night for some reason. I don't know. We pulled pretty good numbers tonight, but for some reason Friday's been the shit. So anyway, y'all hit that subscribe button.
We need it.
And till next time, y'all be good. Fellas, tell them bye.
Bye.
Thank you.